right, good morning, everyone. Please excuse the noise of the washing machine in the background, but that's life. Happy Easter to you. All right, Sunday summaries, and it's just one game tonight, so this is almost a weekend wrap-up. All right, we go to our first game of the night, Bampton in Motor City, and Motor City with a 6-4 victory. They hang on in the end. Looked like Binghamton was starting to make a comeback, but too little too late. Motor City starts off well. Goal by Jonathan Giuliano at 4:42. A minute 3 later, Avery Smith scores. He's been a great find for the Rockers. One of the collegiate graduates that have come in to help the Rockers on their push to the playoffs. Kyle Steffen scores for the Black Bears, and the shots are 18-6. However, only 2 of those 16 to 6. Only 2 of those shots were quality shots, though, by the Black Bears. The Rockers really did a great job, like the Prowlers did the day before, keeping Binghamton to the outside, perimeter shots. Not very tough for Trevor Babin to make the saves. Meanwhile, the Rockers are getting good quality chances on Nolan Egbert. In the second period, it's still in the first period. TJ Sneath scores, so it's 3-1. In the second, Nicholas McGill-Diaz, he scores 16:30, and then just 2 minutes later, it's Declan Conway on the power play, and they held Binghamton to 10 shots. 11 shots themselves. The Rockers' defensive game has really, really improved over the last couple of weeks. It struggled for a little bit, kind of like they were trying to find their way, and suddenly, bam, everything's working in the defensive end for the Rockers. So, there you go. In the third period, Binghamton did mount a comeback. Kyle Steffen scores again. But TJ Delaney responded a shorthanded goal. Later on, had a couple of goals by the Black Bears. Dakota Bond, the power play goal, and Tyson Kirkby ends up scoring with just under a minute left. It was 6-4. Shots 43 for the game for Binghamton. But again, until the third period, there really wasn't a lot of action that Babin actually faced. He had to make some big saves in that third period. Motor City, 23 shots, and they took the shots accounted. So Binghamton now 33-10-7. First time this year that Binghamton has a 4-game losing streak. Motor City 31-19-4. They continue to hold on to that second place spot in the Empire Division for home ice advantage. So then the big game for playoff implications, and I wish I could have seen more of this game. The stream was terrible. Cole Parenti, who's been working with the Binghamton Black Bears this year, he did the play-by-play for the Elmyra River Sharks. Did a great job, what I could hear, and he's going to be doing the call again on Wednesday. So, maybe he's going to be Elmyra's new guy. We'll see. All right, but Elmyra ends up in a very key and important battle with the Watertown Wolves, winning 6-2. Very convincing win. And Elmyra takes the edge in that race for the final playoff spot. Goals by Yarwood in the power play and newcomer Trevor Schroeder. He gets his first goal for Elmyra. It's a 2-0 edge after 1. In the second, Tate Leeson does score for the Wolves, but then it's an immediate response by the River Sharks, power play goal by Kyle Powell. And then later in the period, David Gaeta scored. When Gaeta scored, the Wolves made a change in goal because Elwha Bouchard was in goal initially. But then Spencer Kozlowski came in, which is kind of funny because the day before, Kozlowski got pulled for Bouchard. in the third period, like PV scores, and that makes it 5-2 at that point. Very late on with the goalie pulled, Trevor Blurred does score, but then 30 seconds later, Dustin Jasso scores for Elmyra into the empty net. And so you have a 6-2 win. Elmyra improving to 19-30-2, now 57 points. Meanwhile, Watertown 17, 29-5, 54 points. 5 games left for these two teams, and 2 of those 5 games are head-to-head in Watertown. So going to be very, very interesting to see how this turns out. But yeah, right now Elmyra has the edge for that final spot. All right. Kyle Powell had the game-winning goal and 2 assists. Yarwood, a goal, 2 assists as well. And Sammy Bernard, 42 shots faced and turned away 40. So he had himself a very good night. Meanwhile, Bouchard, 18 out of 22 in 33.5 minutes played. Spencer Kozlowski saved everything that he faced, but he was pulled for like 4 minutes. So he only had like 22 minutes of total ice time. So there you go. All right. Last night was a lot of firsts, and this was a big first. Blue Ridge gets their first win over their arch rival, the Carolina Thunderbirds, 2-1 in overtime. And this was a really exciting game. It's not often that you have an exciting 2-1 game, but this really was a fantastic game. Very well played by both teams. And the goalies were huge tonight. Mario Cavallari and Owen Liskovitz. Nothing happened in the first as far as scoring. A lot of good end-to-end action, though. A lot of great defensive plays. A lot of good goalie stops. This was an action-packed game. It was probably, in my opinion, I thought it was the most exciting game of the night. Second period, Nikita Avashkin scores to put the Bobcats up. And then about 4 minutes later, Joe Kennedy answers. So it's 1-1. We go through the third. It's just fast and furious action, and yet the defenses on both teams really stepped up their play. Shots were only 7 apiece in the third period, but it was constant action. Again, this game was fantastic. We go to overtime, and the shots are fast and furious. Shots were 6-4 in favor of Carolina in the overtime period, but it was the Bobcats. It was Vladislav that tucked the puck home past Cavallari at 3:42, and there we go. First win in 13 tries by the Bobcats over Carolina, and that really is huge with building towards next year, because while Blue Ridge hasn't had much on-ice success this year, off-ice, they've been a hit. They've been really big, and they're really doing a great job building the brand in Southwest Virginia. So looking for big things by the Bobcats next year. So for this game, Carolina falls to 37-11-3. And the Blue Ridge Bobcats now 14-31-7, holding on to that 5th place spot. Of course, they're eliminated from postseason play, but they're playing for pride at this point. So yeah, Liskovitz, 38 saves and 39 opportunities. Cavallari, not too shabby himself, 32 saves on 34 opportunities. So again, big first there. Another first that we had, first 2-game regulation loss, losing streak by the Columbus River Dragons this year. They fall very late in the game to the Port Huron Prowlers, 6-5. A lot of goals in this game, obviously. First period, you had Justin McDonald scoring. You had Liam Freeborn countering. Another goal by Brian Parsons. Ryan Hunter gets his first of the night on the power play at 13:38, and then at 17:22, Frank Schumacher. I don't know why I said Phil. Frank Schumacher gets the Port Huron Growlers up, and it's 3-2 after one. And then in the second, you had goals by Vincent DeCumbus. Ryan Hunter counters for the River Dragons. J-Mac, he scores again. And then it's Evan Foley for the Prowlers. Again, Prowlers go up 5-4 at the end of two. And then at 15-19, Ryan Hunter gets a hat trick. And in the third period, Columbus really ramped things up with their offensive attacks. So I, as well as a lot of other people, were beginning to think, can the Prowlers hang on? Yep. As a matter of fact, Liam Freeborn scores 18-22, and that gives the Prowlers the win. A very exciting win at home. And so while this doesn't affect any kind of playoff seedings or anything like that, this was a very big and important win for Port Huron. They go on to 6-5 victory. Right now, Columbus is 41-6-3. Their magic number to clinch the division, because they haven't done it yet, is 1 point. Need one more point. Port Huron 26-20-6. It looks like they are going to probably be the third place team, playing Carolina in the opening round of the playoffs. For the night, Ryan Hunter had his hat trick and 2 assists as well. J-Mac, 2 goals, 2 assists. Colgan, 28 of 34 in goal for the River Dragons. Meanwhile, first win professionally for Oscar Wahlgren, 33 of 38 in the saves. So congratulations to Oscar on your first win. Frank Schumacher, a goal and 2 assists, and Freeborn with the 2 goals. All right, the final game of the night, another first. Actually, two firsts. The first being the first back-to-back wins by the Baton Rouge Zydes. They win 3-2. Again, a late goal, breaking a tie. Mississippi starts off the game strong. Dalton Anderson scores in the first, but then Scott Schirach, he's able to provide an answer for the Zydeco on the power play. And then right before time expired, Chris Hansen gets on the board, so Baton Rouge is up 2-1. They're in the lead. In the second, it's Dmitry Kuznetsov, who has rediscovered his offensive game. He scores, so it's 2-2. We go into the third, and I have to be honest, I only was able to see the third period, but it was really good action. And at 15:51, Tyler Larwood is able to squeak the puck home. There was a question as far as whether it was really a goal or not, but upon replay, it got past the line. It just made it past Shepard before the net came off its mounts. It was a real good goal, and that was the game winner. So 3-2 in favor of the Zydeco. Mississippi, they got a lot of shots on goal, 43 shots, but Ryan Nussbaum, in his first pro start, he's earned his spot in one game. 41 saves, and Nussbaum played very well. He looked like a seasoned veteran out there. He was just very calm, very cool. He'd make a big save and just kind of like pop up like, all right, let's keep going. Now, Blake Wayrick started the game for the Seawolves after the first period. He sat down. Shepard came on. I didn't hear whether it was because of injury or what the scenario was, but Shepard played the last 40 minutes. He's the goalie of record, 18 saves on 19 opportunities in 38-43 played. And Nussbaum, again, with 41 saves for his first professional win. So yeah, break up the Zydeco. They are now 12, 34, and 4, not willing to sell for the basement. They're trying to make 5th place. Mississippi now 20, 25, and 3. They're locked into that 4th spot. So there you go. There is the night in review. A lot of firsts last night. And so, yeah, we have one game tonight, Baton Rouge, Mississippi, once again. And we will be back with you tomorrow for stars and standings here on YouTube. And then we'll do a game review tomorrow on Spotify. Thanks for joining me. Hit like and subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. Happy Easter.